I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters Money, your source for everything money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keeps my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special Reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I bring on a guest that I had on in the past, and I liked him so much I brought him right on back. So today's guest, I have Maximilian Winter on the line. He's founder and CEO over at Neue Fund. Maximilian, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Adam. Thank you for having me back.
Oh, man, happy 2020. I'm excited to get into what you're doing. Today's topic, investment, sustainability, a recent or sustainability theme that you've been pursuing. Interested to get into that and your thought process behind it for Neue Fund. But before we do that, I don't want to assume that the new listeners heard your first episode. So let's just start out by having you give us an overview of what's going on at Neue Fund.
Sure. Yeah, Neue Fund was, founded in 2017, and we started making investments out of it in 2018. It's what's called a proof of concept venture capital fund, where we fund early stage companies, mainly in the seed and Series A rounds, in specific verticals that are mostly healthcare, life sciences, and deep tech, which is science breakthroughs that are being commercialized from a laboratory into the world.
So let's get into to today's topic, it's the sustainability theme and investing in it. Let's start off there. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, so one thing we do at Neue Fund is we look for a company's core product or service having some kind of impact. And generally the way we measure that is with a framework from the UN called the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. So we look at kind of which of the 16 or 17 it checks off on the list. And we're working on a framework right now that actually measures more specific metrics, so we don't just do it by feel.
And so impact investing, I mean, it's a huge topic. I think a lot of people are giving a lot more thought process, not just on the institutional level, by the way, but also just on the personal level, I should say for the individual investors, into impact investing and really considering where their dollars are going. What do you think the future of impact investing and, business governments, I mean, what do you think that looks like? Because you're evaluating companies with this, obviously, this specific goal of deploying capital and making an impact at the same time. So what do you think the future of that looks like for maybe even some of the larger companies?
Yes, I see that there's a generational shift going on. So a lot of millennials are starting to come into money, either inherited or just starting to really get into the good years in their career. And I mean, you hear people even like Jim Cramer saying that, he's done with oil and gas. And so I think millennials
when you hear that, by the way, that's a big deal. You know what I mean? When you hear that, that's not, he's been, that's definitely crossing generations, but continue.
Yeah, yes, exactly. If it reaches up there to an established Wall Street person, and I think millennials are much more into something like Tesla, something that they maybe use, right? Even Starbucks, they get a coffee every day. Starbucks is a little bit about sustainability, and they try to do a lot of work on that front. So I think they're more investing with the conviction of what they use and they believe in, and if that's going to be there for their children as well.
Anything interesting in terms of industries and technology and developments that you've noticed or themes that you care to comment on?
Yeah, there's so many interesting things, but what we've seen in the last since we last spoke in June 2019, we've seen quite a few interesting companies in ag tech or agricultural technologies, and there's just so many ways that you can change have a positive impact on the environment with the food that we cultivate and consume, recycling, water usage, fertilizer usage, pesticides, the technology and measuring things. That's where we see a lot of things. And then some material sciences companies. There's a company that's cutting silicon wafers more exact, so they're reducing the waste by a factor of 2 to 3 times. And let's see.
That's awesome. So, Maximilian, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Neue Fund or to kind of keep up with what you're doing, what's the best way for them to get that info?
Yeah, I would direct them to the website, Neue Fund, NEUEFUND.com. And happy to connect on LinkedIn or my email. You're welcome to post that. Any other way that they would like to connect, I'm always happy to speak with like-minded individuals and sustainability impact and investing technology.
That's awesome. Well, hey, Maximilian, really appreciate you coming back on the show for this reunion 2020 episode. Looking forward to getting you back on in 2021 to see what else is going on with Neue Fund and the progress and any other interesting themes you see then. So it's been great catching up with you and having you back. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you're listening to this on iTunes or any of the other platforms, leave us a review. I mean, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. We really do appreciate it over here. And Maximilian, thanks again for coming on the show.